My name is Maria.
My name is Jeremy.
And this is our love story. So we've been dating for a little over 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met in 2017 and through a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And how that happened. So before the actual meeting day, my friend called me days prior, and she lived in San Francisco at that time. And so she told me that she got concert tickets and she wanted me to go with her. So then she explained to me that the next day she was going to come to Bakersfield so that I could take the train and then she would drive me back to Bakersfield. And so we did that. So that's what happened. And then on our drive back, we were just having, deep conversations, girl talk. And one thing led to another. We decided to do a girls' night because we were just like over guys, done with guys. We wanted nothing to do with guys. And so then, so that's when we decided for the girls' night. And so we separated for a while because she went to go do her thing that she had to do in town. And then we finally met up again. And then that's when she told me, hey, is it okay? I invited a friend. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like more the merrier, right? And so after that, she just kept saying, oh, my friend is going to meet us for dinner. And then you and I can do our own thing after. And I'm like, oh, okay. Sounds fun. I don't care. And then we finally pull up to Eureka's because that's where we went to go have dinner. And so as we're getting off the car, she goes, oh, he's a really nice guy. And I looked at her and I'm like, he? Because the whole time I was thinking it was like, a friend that's a girl, like a girlfriend. Because, hours prior, we were just talking how we were over guys. And so yeah, finally he walks in and this is where I like to say that he saw an angel.
Oh my God. Yeah, she always says that. That's when I fell.
No, we locked eyes. I saw him and it was funny because he was like staring at me and he kept walking.
I think we were both thrown off.
Yeah, like he kept walking and I'm like, he's gonna bump into someone right now. And because he kept on staring at me. And then, like the conversation was...
Well, like she said, so we were mutual friends. It had been a long time since I had talked to her. So we were just going to catch up, get a bite to eat. And she said, let's go eat at Eureka. So I was like, hey, I'm not turning down Eureka. So yeah, I get there and I didn't know who was going to be there or, and then I showed up.
You thought it was just going to be you and her.
I thought maybe her, but I thought sometimes she brings her friends too that I was friends with. So I didn't know. And then, yeah, it turned out to be you. And so, I don't know, the whole night I was just kind of curious. I was like, hey, who's this, And so that's pretty much where I ended up asking her at the end for your number. And then...
Yeah, so like after dinner. Well, dinner was like really... Like, it just felt...
We were there for a while, yeah.
Yeah, it was just... Conversation was good and everything. And then right after dinner, we don't even get to our car when my friend he texted my friend and she goes, hey, Jeremy just asked if you're single. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, the story, I'm like, I am. And then, like, seconds later, she goes, he texted me asking to ask you if he can have your number. And I'm like, yeah, you can give it to him. And
and then I text her, I think the
next day.
Yeah. So, and then it was pretty much from there. Yeah, we just ended dating.
Yeah.
But I would say that's pretty much how we met. And then as far as memories from dating, I would say we had a lot of good moments with Disney, I would say.
Yeah, like we go to Disney
Disney quite a bit. We go to there's our go-to spot with Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen down in downtown Disney. So
like that's a must.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good experiences, I would say there.
I would say like even Cabo.
Cabo was a good one.
Nashville.
Yep.
And then just like the little memories in between.
Yeah.
Just like hanging out at home, and he does a lot of woodworking. So just like being in the garage and helping him and building stuff.
Yeah, it's working on the house. We've moved a few times now, so that's been interesting.
Yeah, so just like those little memories too.
Yeah, I'd say that goes along with some of the dating. I do remember the first date after we had met. I was trying to take you out by yourself, but you said you were going out with your friends. and then I ended up like kind of being a fourth wheel to your two other friends.
That's how I knew he was the one.
And so I thought that was kind of interesting, but I still went and had a good time, surprisingly.
Yeah, because it was like 2 days after we met, because we met on a Saturday, and then on Monday night, he texted me. He's like, hey, do you want to go out to dinner tomorrow? And I'm like, oh, actually, I already have plans with one of my friends to go to Taco Tuesday. But you can join us if you want, then you and I can do something after you go watch a movie or whatever. And I thought he wasn't going to show up. I thought he was just going to be like, oh, we'll save it for another day or.
Yeah.
But no, he showed up and I was like, oh,
yeah, you're not going to turn down Taco Tuesday? Come on.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, so
and,
that's pretty much, I would say, one of the better memories of one of our dates. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then as far as the proposal story, do you want to go? You could go first.
Okay, so we had plans to go to Paso Robles to the wineries for Valentine's Day. And so obviously we woke up, we got ready, and then I get in the car, and then he goes, oh, wait, hold on, I forgot to get cash. And I'm like, okay, my cash, okay. Because that didn't really threw me off, because sometimes, like, I know he likes carrying, like, a little bit of cash when we go to, like, Disney, like, on trips like that. So I'm like, okay, I guess he wants cash. And then, but I think that's when you ended up getting the ring.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
I had to be pretty sly about it.
Yeah. And then, so then we're driving, and then he never cares if I do my makeup or not. I think he honestly likes me better without makeup. But he's like, are you going to do your makeup? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, when you get closer, I'm like, yeah. And then I'm like, why? He's like, I don't care. I was like, oh, just asking. And then we finally get to the first winery, which was Tooth and Nail. And he asked the host if we can go up to the rooftop. And the host was like, oh, yeah, let me ask my manager. And they had it closed off because of COVID.
Yeah, this is COVID still running rampant. But they had just started opening stuff.
Yeah, they started opening again. And so then the host forgot to ask, because then she comes back and then he asked, hey, are we going to go to the rooftop? And it's like, oh, I forgot. So for him, like, asking again, I'm like, okay, why is he so adamant about going to the rooftop? And so, yeah, so finally the manager came, took us to the rooftop, and that's where he proposed.
Yep.
Yeah, it threw me off. I honestly thought he was going to do it at Disney, which his original.
I guess I'll go to my story. Yeah. The original plan was to do it in Disney World, since we're big fans of Disney. I had it planned to do it in the Cinderella Castle, and I was going to have it come in on a slipper, and they were going to bring it in. I already had the place booked. I had the restaurant and everything, but because of the whole COVID thing, I wasn't able to do that. So I was like, okay, plan B, and I honestly didn't know how I was going to do it. But time kept passing, and things were just still not opening up, and I didn't want to fly somewhere and do it. But I wanted to do it somewhere really nice. But Paso is a place we go a lot, so I was like, okay, that'd probably be. Yeah, I was like, Paso would be a good spot. It'll look nice. And then I always remembered going to Tooth and Nail and going to the rooftop, and I was like, oh, that place would be perfect because it's got really nice views. And so,
and then I hadn't been to that winery either.
I went there quickly, but I didn't really stay there too long. Winery. And I knew that would be a cool spot for us. So it was kind of a game time decision that day. I didn't even know if I was going to do it that day. But when I went in the safe, I was like, well, I guess I'm doing it. And so I grabbed it. And so the whole way there, I was hoping we would get upstairs and get on the rooftop. Because I was like, if we don't get upstairs, I'm not doing it. So finally, that's why I kept pushing. When we got there, I kept telling the lady, I was like, hey, get us freaking upstairs. And then so there's finally the point where she was going to take us upstairs. And I don't know if you remember, there was the other two couple with a dog. Oh, yeah, because the manager's like, oh, there's another couple that wants to go too. We'll just go, all of us together. So we all went together. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, how am I going to get her? So I was trying to get her on the other side. There was two different sides on the rooftop. Terrace. And so she's trying to follow this stupid couple with the dog. And I'm just like, leave them alone. Let's go over here. So finally I pulled her away in the corner. And then and then that's when I was like, okay, perfect. I looked around. It was quiet. Nobody was there. It was just us two. It was very intimate. Us two. Yeah. Like I said, I hate photos. I hate stuff. I hate social media. So I love that it was so private. And nobody saw it. And people were like, oh, well, where's the photos? And I was like, it's in my mind. That's where they're at. And I love it. So yeah, that's pretty much how the proposal went. We had it after
Well,
that.
I did ask the manager to take a picture of us on the rooftop, but that was
After.
before.
That was the after
No, that
thing.
was before you proposed.
No, but we did one
then-
after too.
But not on the rooftop. It was at the bottom.
Oh, that's true. It was at the bottom.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I did
Yeah.
it there, and then we just had a good time the rest of the day. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And so, and then excited about wedding. That's probably more on her side. So you can go ahead and say what you're excited about.
I'm just excited overall. Like, I don't know, like for one, like about the wedding itself, like having family and friends there and help us celebrate, you know, our love and people that support us. And then, you know, as far as after just like the honeymoon and like our next chapter, you know, in our lives and see what, you know, what God has in store for us.
Yeah. I got to be honest. I'm pretty excited to just. I'm not looking forward to the money I'm going to spend on this thing. So I'm trying to do this where it's not going to kill me. And this is more for her. I just want, I guess, her to have what she wants, but also not bankrupt me at the same time. So I just need to get through this day for me.
Well, you're excited about the casino night.
Yeah, a little bit. Probably that and the alcohol. So, and the food. And I'd say, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that'd be kind of where we're at with that. And then how do you go ahead? How do you define love?
Oh my gosh, I love this topic, but
Oh yeah, it's totally you.
so for one, like I guess communication. There has to be communication, support, have a support system, support one another, have each other's backs, and just overall like have, you know, God in the center of everything, and you know, think just
Yeah.
like take a lot of sacrifices, I guess. You know, it's not about just giving or taking. It's, you know, compromising and coming together as one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, a big one is, you know, sometimes you have to do a lot of stuff that you don't like. And that's pretty much, that lets you know that you're in love, because
Like this.
this is something I would never do. All the stuff that comes with the wedding stuff, I honestly am not a fan of, but I'm doing it. And so I guess that's my way of showing that I guess that we are in love.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I would never do this. Anyways, that's
And
that's pretty much, I would say. And that's our love story.